What's up, guys? It's been a while, huh? Well, I was given an offer that I couldn't refuse, and well, I get to pick out a puppy. So today I'm gonna do a stream from Kansas. I'm in Kansas, and I'm on the property with 10 dogs. I'm living with 10 dogs currently for a few days, and they're all cute as hell. Looks like my watch page just popped on. All right. So there are 7 Beagle puppies, and then the 2 Beagle parents. So they are purebred Beagles. And then there's an extra non-Beagle resident, an Australian Shepherd on the property right next to me. And she's a crazy girl. So you guys are going to meet 10 dogs tonight. So how's everybody doing? All right. Danny says, yo, Jake. Hi, everyone. And Michael Partaka says, hey, Jake. Jason G in the house. What's up? And J.E. says, what up? I hope all is well, dude. I'm excited to see the puppies and take a break from making a video about exposing my local kangaroo court. Keep up the hard work. I love you. All right. Thank you for being here, buddy. Jana's here. She says hello and congratulations. Yeah, was this one of those things that, like, I saw a picture of cute beagles on Facebook. One of my longtime subscribers posted a picture, and right as I was gonna comment, I knew, like, if I say those puppies are cute, he's gonna fucking ask me if I want one. And I'm like, do I want to do this? And I said, oh my god, so cute. And then, like, by the next day or so, he was like, are you ready for a new Rusty? And I was like, holy fuck. How did I know that was gonna happen? So yeah, here's one of them right here. This is Hilda. He gave him temporary names so he could keep track of them. And the longtime subscriber is a guy named Bruce. He doesn't hang out in the chat much, but he's been on board for a long time, and he used to comment and be more active on YouTube, and then he lost access to his account. So he doesn't participate here with us as much, but he's letting me stay on the property and has been a subscriber for quite a while. So the owner of the bloodline is a longtime sub of mine named Bruce. But this is the first dog, and it's a female, and I think that this one is one of the cutest ones. It's hard to say which one's the cutest because all puppies are cute, but this one is pretty damn cute. Right? We got another one wanting to get up. Looks like this one wants the attention now. Which one is this? Oh yeah, this one, I think he's calling this one Twin because it has a twin brother that looks almost just like it. All right, so this one, she looks a little different. See, each one a little different. Look at that cute baby. Are you a cute baby? So yeah, these two are pretty damn cute. Both of these are females. So there's 4 females and 3 males. And this one is one of the females. And she's adorable. All right. So what do you guys think so far? Pretty damn cute, huh? No, I can't do 2. You know, I'm not in a spot for 2 dogs, but I can have 1 dog and love the shit out of that one and go on plenty of walks and give it plenty of my attention. And it'd be nice to have somebody to jump on camera with me once in a while. She's a contender. Let me show you the others. They all have their own personality. You wouldn't think that, all the puppies have their own little quirks so far. They're only like 8 weeks old, but they each have their own little personalities starting to develop. And so I've been here for a couple days now, hanging out with all of them. And it's not as easy of a choice as I thought it would be, but I'm starting to narrow it down. And so when I get back to my office, I plan on doubling down with content because I haven't done shit for like a week. And I haven't even made the NFL video. And I won't even get back into California for, I don't know, 3-4 more days. It takes like 24 hours of driving. And I don't mean one day, I mean like a full 24 hours of driving, which I can't do 24 hours driving. So can you do 2 days of 12 hours driving? That's a lot. So it took me 3 days driving about like 8 hours each day, which was a pain in the ass. But I made it. All right, let me get you guys another pup. Which one's this one? All right. So, let me grab another one. Hold on. He wants to get down. Here's another female. So we'll start with the females. This one is Sandy. And these are temporary names. So this one's Sandy. She's a sweetie. She's a feisty one. She tends to win the wrestling matches. She seems to be the best fighter of the bunch when they start sparring. Surprisingly, this one is the one that usually wins the wrestling matches. And she's a cutie. You a cute dog too? You a cutie too? Yep. See? There's 4 of them going off right now in a battle. All right, next pup in line. Who did I not show yet? Here it is. Okay. Had to go grab the 4th female. So 4 females, 3 males. Here's the 4th female here. And this one's been nicknamed Crybaby so far because she cries the most. She wakes up first and then she cries the most. But she's a sweetie. She's a good girl, huh? She's a sweet girl too. She's a little more I don't know. She's a little different from the rest, but she's a sweetheart, and she's come and snuggled up to me a few different times. All right, looks like I got a super chat come in. Colin P says, "Hey Jake, been a while. Here's some puppy chow cash. Do a vid later on CEO death." Me and Bruce were talking about that earlier today because it was all over the news. Actually, last night, I think we looked into that headline. It was either early today or last night. That headline was all over every news outlet. And I was like, why do they want us to care about some stupid CEO? Nobody's going to give a shit about that. Like, that's not going to keep anyone's attention. Like, what a stupid psyop. Colin P, I appreciate the generous donations, buddy. You're always quite generous when you donate, and I really do appreciate that. And having a new pup, it's it might cost a little money, but I haven't owned a dog in 2 years, and just felt like it was time, and just everything aligned to where I was given this opportunity, and I thought about like, okay, continue not owning a dog or like experience the puppy love. And I've never got to own a puppy. I Rusty was a rescue, and my dog before that, Buddy, was a rescue, and you guys never got to meet that dog. So I've only owned rescue dogs. I've never, and they were full grown. So I've never got to raise one from a puppy and have all that puppy phase. So it's kind of exciting. Thank you, Colin P. I appreciate that. First super chat of the night. All right. You know, each one of them special. And if I had a big property and I could own multiple dogs, then of course I would want a friend. You know, I would get two. But I don't, have property. I'm a single dude living out of an office basically. And so I'm a one dog man at the moment. Sunflower coming in with a donation says more money for puppy stuff. Oh yes, all the puppy stuff. He's gonna outgrow all the shit, outgrow the bed, outgrow the harness. Gotta buy all that new shit. But then once they get to their, the as big as they're gonna get, then you don't have to rebuy that shit so often. One of them just came and snuggled up in my lap. The one I showed, the very first one I showed you, she just came up here, snuggled up in my lap on her own. And when they're trying to sleep and you pet them, sometimes if a beagle puppy's trying to sleep and you pet them, they'll go, and then you pet them anyway, and they go, like they don't want you to pet them because they're trying to sleep. So they go, looks like another super chat from Sunflower came in. Did you send two of them? Dang. Thank you, Sunflower. I don't know if you meant to do that. I don't know if you meant to send two of them back to back like that. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Guys, it's very generous of you. I knew that, tonight we were going to get a smaller crowd because I labeled it pets and animals category. And I have, I'm picking out a puppy in the title. So I knew that tonight's crowd was going to be like smaller, but like a lot more tight knit. Like all the hardcores would be here. And the ones who wanted to be here most would be here. Sunflower, if you didn't mean to send the extra, I could PayPal you back one of the super chats if you'd like. I had a feeling when you did two of them, and it was the same thing, that you might have accidentally sent it through twice. You are a sweetheart, and you guys, I don't ask you for this. I know you do it out of the kindness of your own heart. That's why I always thank you. You guys are the best audience, and I really appreciate it. All right. So I showed you guys 4 females. Let me go grab one of the boys. One of the boys. You got a stick? What do you cut? All right. So here's one of the boys, and his temporary name is Frankie. And he's a cutie. They're all super cute. Like I said, there's not an ugly one in the bunch. You a good boy, Frankie? Is Frankie a good dog? He's a good boy. So 3 males, 4 females. So this is one of the males here. And I knew when I was going to do this that there'd be 7 pups, and you guys would be like, "That one, pick that one, that one." But it would be like that if it was like, which chick would you like me to bang? Pick that one, pick that one. I wish there was 7 chicks trying to bang me. But anyway, I had a feeling that you guys were gonna be like, "Oh, that's the one," and I knew like I got to show all the dogs. And then I'm gonna bring up their parents because their parents are really sweet dogs, and they're both here. And so you guys are gonna meet the Beagle mom and the Beagle dad, and an Australian Shepherd who's not a Beagle, and she's a crazy girl. And I'm gonna get her all riled up. All right. Kevin Arnold says back pay for years of great content. Whoa. Everybody being super generous tonight. I appreciate that, Kevin Arnold from Wonder Years. And I know I say that to you every time. I really appreciate the super chats, guys. Overwhelming support here on the Jake the Asshole channel. I gotta tell you, I'm getting about sick of the asshole name, so I'll probably have to change. Around New Year's, I might just change the name. I just don't know exactly what. That's the problem. SGD Galvez says, get yourself a Steam vac. Well, luckily, I am staying in a small office, and I was going to set up an area for the pup while I'm like working on videos and stuff, or I'll have like a blanket or something down while it's a pup. But we're going to be going out on walks every day. So Rusty would go on 3 walks a day. I mean, minimum 2 for sure. So every day the pup's going on an actual walk, like outside at a park. So it's not like a go out in the backyard situation. So basically, the dog will learn pretty quick that like it's going to go on 3 walks, and that's the time to do bathroom stuff. But yeah, I plan on having a section of the office while the dog's really young, and it's gonna pee and poo no matter I won't be able to train it that early. So I'll have a section of the office where I'll have like a little blanket down, little pin area for him at first, right next to me, of course. And then, of course, while I'm streaming with you guys, I can just pick the dog up. The dog will make many appearances on camera. So I know that the dog is going to be a rock star. The dog's going to be well known. I even thought I'd create a channel for the dog. I saw that somebody created a channel for their Beagle. It's called Oliver the Beagle. Go ahead, type in Oliver the Beagle and look how many subscribers that guy has. And it's just a guy filming his Beagle. It's not the cutest Beagle in the world. It's not the most amazing Beagle. Over 300,000 subscribers. Several videos over 1 million. Some of them 4 and 5 million. I'm like, dude, if I made a video of my dog and it got 5 million views and I got a check for 20 grand, that would be pretty fucking crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. It probably won't work. But I'm going to try that. And I thought, what would be funny is if the dog gets more subscribers and views than me. It could happen because I'm kind of shadow banned. Like when I don't talk about the NFL, the views are nowhere near as good as the NFL views. So I know I'm shadow banned like crazy. So I'm thinking a side dog channel. Maybe I can capitalize on some of that family friendly content. Ooh, yeah. Maybe then they'll give me that algorithm stroke. And why not? The money's going to go to help raising the dog. Whoops, meant to pull up the super chat somebody just sent. God damn it. Okay, Hunter Thompson says, keep in God, I have this really bright light here to like because I'm in a different spot, and so like, and I usually have my monitor that's really big, so I'm having to squint to read like really small writing. So forgive me. Keep in mind how loud beagles are, so might be tricky to be on the DL. Well, I had Rusty while I lived out of the office, but he was super chill and quiet. So I'm looking at the more chill of the bunch. So the dogs I'm eyeballing are the ones that don't make as much noise. And see, you guys don't know which ones those are, but I have some insider info. So it's not just which one's the cutest. It's also which one comes to me and which one takes to me, and then also which one's like more on the mellow side and not super loud. And so right away, one of them that probably won't work, even though she's a cutie, is the one that cries the most. She just might not work for me. But she's super cute and sweet. So it's not an easy decision, you see? So even the one that I'm like, okay, that one's probably not for me, but it's only because she whimpers a little bit more than the other ones. So it's like, is that enough reason to disqualify a puppy? I have to make those calls. Holden says, hi, Jake. I'm here this time. Guess what? I went undefeated in my scripted picks. Good job, Holden. I hope you made a ton of money. Good job. I just gave up trying to beat the NFL because, as far as betting goes, because they got extra random with their outcomes this year. And it's clear they're trying to beat everybody. Like they want to beat the sharps some weeks, they want to beat the public some weeks. So you can't just fade the public anymore and just win 60% anymore. It's coming down now to where it's like they're really making it like, okay, is this the week that all the games are going to go down kind of like they should? Or is this the week when all the underdogs win? Or are they going to do a mixed bag? So I feel like I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe this week they let the favorites win? Fuck, I was wrong. So I just decided that if it's total guesswork, why do it? And I had a terrible start to the season, so I actually don't miss making the picks. The only thing I miss was I used to make a lot of money on the pick video. The pick video would make me more money than I would make betting. Because if I would bet and lose, well, that sucks. So imagine you make the pick video and you make, $400 on a pick video, but then you turn around and have a losing week and you lose like 3/4 of that or half of it or whatever. Then you feel pissed off that you even bet. But if you make picks and don't bet, well, then you end up with a week where you go undefeated and don't win any money. So I just had to give it up. No more sports picks. So let me show you another one of the boys. Let me go grab another boy puppy. Where's a boy puppy? Where's the boy puppy? Here we go. All right, here's another little boy puppy. Hold on, you guys will all get your turn. All right. Let me get rid of this. So this one was the runt of the bunch, but it has over the last few days caught up, and now it's about equal size to several of its sisters. He's the smallest boy, but he's one of the smaller ones in the bunch. He's a good boy too. He's a little more timid, but he's a good boy. He's a good boy too. He's a good boy. All right. Now here's the third boy, and this is the seventh pup, seventh and final pup. And this one is been given the name Ralphie, and he's the biggest boy of all. He's the one that eats the most and has the most weight. He's the biggest. He might be a pound heavier than the other ones, and he's a sweet boy, huh? You're my sweet boy. Yeah. Pretty damn cute, huh? Look at that Beagle baby. Are you a Beagle baby? All right. Come here, Pickle. So this is the mom, and she is a good girl. This is Pickle here. Come on, Pickle. I'm gonna show you off to the camera. She's a good girl. This is their mom. She's a first-time mom. 7 pups. And she gets down there and wrestles with them. Sometimes she'll single one out and wrestle with one until it submits, and then she'll go pick on another one. She's a good girl. So this is their mother, and Bruce gave this dog the name Pickle. Ugh. Barney. Come here, Barney. Come here, Barney. Come on, Barney. Let me get their dad. The dad's name is Barney. Barney. Come on, Barney. Come on. Come on. Come on, Barney. Come on. Oh, he's a good boy. He wants to chew up a paper plate. The pups are chewing up a paper plate. So he wants to chew this paper plate, huh? So here's Barney and Pickle. These are the dad and mom right here. This is the bloodline here. This is where the pups' genetics come from. You a good Barney? Are you a good Barney boy? Yeah. And Barney's sweet. He's pretty mild-mannered, and he does like to go after the ball. Huh, you like to go after the ball? And then there's one non-beagle on the property. Huh. Come on. Come on. Let's give each person their turn. Hazel, come. Now, the one non-beagle is totally not a beagle, but she thinks she might be a beagle. Come on, Hazel. Come here, Hazel. This is the Australian Shepherd. These are Bruce's dogs. These are not ones I'm considering taking home. But she's crazy. And she's very smart. And she gets riled up easily. Huh. She's riled up easily. If you pet her, then she's like, won't leave you alone. Huh. If you just pet this dog and you do this, then she's like, yes, keep doing that. Yeah. You want me to keep doing that, huh? You just want me to keep doing that. She just wants me to keep doing that. Huh. So let's give you like, yeah, she likes this, huh? And if you stop, then she'll be like, then she'll usually freak out, want you to continue. She's a crazy girl, huh? You crazy girl. She's a crazy girl. She's a crazy girl. And see, she just crawls right up on me. She's a nice dog. She's the only not beagle in the house. One thing she does win is every time someone throws like a ball, she gets there first because she's the fastest and she wants it the most. So if you throw a ball, Barney and Pickle will go for it, but like this one right here, Hazel, she wins because she's faster and she wants it the most. So she shoots right by the slow beagles and gets the ball. She's a good dog. All right. Looks like I got some super chats coming in. And if I miss any super chats while I'm picking up dogs or whatever, Rose, could you send me a text if I miss any? If anyone notices me missing any super chats while I'm rambling. Looks like I missed one. Oh, it was Kevin Arnold. Never mind. I did get that one. And all right. Never mind. I didn't miss one. Good. Yeah, Australia. She's pure Australian Shepherd. And so all these dogs are purebred dogs. I'm in the house with 10 dogs right now, and all of them are straight purebred. Like, so what's crazy is I've never had a dog that was purebred, and I've never like had a dog that I knew like when it was born and like who the parents were. So to like have a puppy that like I know when it was born, and I know where and like what the parents are, and I've met the parents, and like I could come back here in 6 months, a year, and like let the dog reunite with his family, and I could hang out, So it's just cool. Like that's not something I had with my last dog. My last dog was a rescue, so I didn't even know when he was born. I didn't even know how old he was for sure. I don't know if Rusty was 10 years old or 8 years old or 9 years old. I don't know. They never told me because I rescued him. Andy's here. She says she has 2 rescues. So yeah, I'm all about rescuing dogs, and I did that with my last 2. And I wouldn't normally go seek out a purebred of a certain breed and fork over thousands of bucks when there's a dog nearby that is cute and needs a home. But this was a special circumstance where a longtime subscriber of the channel has made me an incredible offer. And when he showed me the pictures, I was like, I have to. I have to drive to Kansas and get a puppy. So that's why I haven't been posting for the last several days. It's like I took 3 days driving out here. So, all right. Margaret says, my Chiweenie has no hair. Oh, sounds like a personal problem to me. Why don't you go get your Chiweenie checked out, lady? Just kidding. I'm joking. All right. Kerma says, which puppy did you pick? I haven't made my final decision, but I've kind of narrowed it down. And so I'm going to wait, I'll let you guys know probably tomorrow who the winner is. So I'll leave you guys in suspense tonight. I'm not going to like make my pick here and now, but I'll let you guys know by tomorrow. But expect, I took a bunch of puppy footage today, so I have a stockpile of puppy videos, and so expect some puppy shorts and puppy videos, not just of mine, but the whole Beagle family. Because today I went out in the backyard with them and just videotaped all of them, So I got plenty of stock footage of the whole family. FF says, New York City UHC CEO pew-pewing story, real or staged. Whenever you see something on all the mainstream media outlets, like they really want you to know, and that one's one of those, then I always lean towards scripted and staged. And so what their end goal is with this particular one, I don't know, but at the same time, I don't give a shit. There are certain things that they do that like, that's boring. Some scripted stupid shit. Who cares about some CEO? Do you? Is anyone going to cry for that guy? Now it's different when they say, oh, a bunch of children at a school got pew-pewed. Puppy war. See, that one is one of the cutest ones, but it's also one of the loudest ones. And so she might not be the one for me because she is one of the loudest ones. And I don't know if I want the loudest one. But then you wonder if, like, well, what if these are just little puppy phases and then they'll be like totally different in like 3, 4 weeks or a month or 6 months. So maybe me choosing over these little instances, like these little details while I'm here for a day or two, like, I don't know for sure, you know? So, but if that is the case, she is one of the more noisy ones, but she's one of the cutest ones too. And Cookie just tuned in. She said, "Wow, just tuned in. So excited for you. I'm excited too. I've been around 10 dogs for the last 2 days and just like laying down with the puppies and having all of them like crawl all over me and stuff. So I totally smell like puppy dogs, which some people think smells good, but other people might think stinks a bit. Speaking of puppies, here was the noisy offender, the noisy one, but she's cute. She looks the most beagle-ish to me. Like she looks the most like a typical beagle. Hmm. You the most typical looking beagle of the bunch. Hmm. You a typical beautiful beagle baby. She also likes to take a little bite at your nose sometimes. She'll start licking your nose and then she'll be like, "Oh no, I'm gonna bite your nose." Ah, they got little needle teeth. You're a good baby. Do the paws smell like Fritos? No, I don't think they smell like Fritos. And McGill says she's so aggressive. Um, this one was one of the more noisier ones, but she was also one of the more adventurous ones. So this one, Bruce told me she was like the first one to start trying to go up the steps, the first one to like go across the backyard. So this one is the most like adventurous one, and she's a sweetie. She's really cute, and so I had my eye on her at first, and I still do. But she also is loud. She's one of the more loud ones. There's a few of them that don't really bark or make loud noises so far yet, and they seem more mellow. So I have to wonder if that's more for me. Somebody said that they're in Kansas. Yeah, I haven't been to the state since 2017. And the last time I was here, I stopped by this guy's house because was a subscriber, and he said that I could crash here. I was doing a cross country tour, me and Rusty. So 2017, I went across the country and did meetups, flat Earth meetups or subscriber meetups, whichever you prefer. And uh, yeah, I stopped here in Kansas, and I haven't been back through here since until a few days ago. And so rolling back through here after 7 years, it was like a trip because like I came through here just as I was starting to get big on YouTube, and then now all these years later, it's like holy shit, I'm still doing YouTube, and so caught up with Bruce for the first night, catching him up on all the YouTube drama and shit, and then we just looked at the pups, talked about the pups, and then the next day, I just played with the puppies all damn day, and before you knew it, it was dark. So that's why today I was like, okay, I have to have to go live and do something with my channel. All I've done so far is drive and play with puppies. I should probably work, if you want to call this work. Yes, uh, the subscriber who offered it to me, Bruce, he lives in Kansas, and so last time I was here, like I said, was 2017 in June. I did my cross country trip, and some of you met me on that trip. I'm sure some of you here showed up to some of those. I know Andy, she showed up to the Colorado meetup, which I hadn't drove through Colorado in a long time, and I went through the Rockies, and I stayed the night in my van in uh, Grand Junction, Colorado, and then the next day I got up. It was crystal cleared, sunny the whole way. Drove through the Rockies. Like I haven't been through Colorado in 7 years, so it was a very nice drive. It's just very long, having to do 3 days, 8 hours. It's a lot. And I only did like 6 hours the second day. So that means like on the last day, I had to put in like 11 hours or so to get here. It's a long ass drive. And when you get out of the Rockies and you get it into eastern Colorado, it's flat and boring. And then it stays like that all the way into Kansas. And then basically Kansas is just flat and boring. So there's no reason for me to go to Kansas other than to visit a friend or pick up a puppy, right? There ain't no reason to be in Kansas. Oh, look, we got a hater here in the house. Jake the fake, huh? Well, what about me is fake? What about me is fake? Why would I call myself that? In fact, usually that's something trolls and haters say. So go ahead. Tell me why I shouldn't kick your ass out of here for life for being a troll while I'm trying to have my dog lover stream with a bunch of cute puppies. Huh? You want me to kick your ass out of here? Is that what you want? Brad says the dog will make you nicer. Will it? Yeah, you better hope so, Brad. Better, you better fucking hope that the dog makes me nicer, huh? You better fucking hope the dog makes me nicer, huh? You gonna make me nicer, huh? Ken F says there's a Beagle hater here too. Hey, dog breeds they all have their different quirks and their ups and their downs. Some people like big dogs and they have a property in the house that's set up for a big dog, and then other people like small dogs. And big dogs and small dogs, they have their different personalities, and some people like the little smaller yappy dogs, and then other people like a bigger, more chill dog, and then it can just each dog has its own personality. So, and then you just have to like dogs, like I'm a dog guy, so like I like pretty much all dogs. I mean, I'm not really trying to own a pit bull because like I look at it like a liability, like whether it is defending me or whatever. I don't want to have like my dog accidentally rip another dog apart or accidentally rip a kid apart or a person apart accidentally. So that's the one dog breed I don't like owning, but they're good dogs. So I don't have anything against pits. I just don't want the liability of like, because it is your liability. So you have to look at any dog you get as like, okay, if it was to attack a person, like how much damage could it do? A pit, the most damage, whereas like a little tiny dog doesn't do nearly as much damage. So you got to look at stuff like that. And then no matter how well trained your dog is. You just never know, like, if they see another dog, like, what's going to happen. So everybody has their favorite uh, dog breeds. So, of course, there's people who are going to say, oh, I don't like those kind of dogs, and I like these kind of dogs. So I've never owned a beagle. This will be my first time. I've only owned mutts, so I've never owned a purebred. So I couldn't even tell you what Rusty was. Like, what kind of dog was Rusty? He looked like he was like 10 different mutts rolled into one. Rose says, dogs can bamboozle, meek and cute when they want to be picked, then terrors when you get them home. Yeah, each dog has its ups and downs, and there were some rough points with Rusty where he was aggressive with like the couch and like his bed for a while, and like he would chase his tail, like not in a cute way, but like in a like mentally disturbed way. And then once he got neutered, it was like he stopped doing all that. So it sucks to think, oh, you chop your dog's balls off and then he becomes awesome. But Rusty became fucking awesome after he got neutered. Before he got neutered, he would like show his teeth to me. Like if I tried to get on like my couch, he would be laying on my couch and then I'd go to get on it and he'd be like, it's like, are you gonna growl at me? Like, you think this is your cow? So, but he was ready to defend it. So when I first got Rusty, he was like ready to fucking bite at me and nip at my hand, like if I fucking tried to sit down. Like, but then like if I was like, oh, you want some food? Then he would be like, oh yeah, now I'm a nice dog again. So he wasn't like a mean dog, but he thought that like, oh, this is my couch. And so I noticed a huge change for the better after he got neutered. It was like he stopped chasing his tail and stopped being aggressive. And then he was super chill and fucking awesome. So that's kind of weird how that works. Like, you don't want to have to, like, cut your dog's balls off. I didn't personally cut them off, by the way. I wasn't the one. But, gotta say, made him an awesome dog. So, it's not going to be all about the dogs, from every day here on out. But, for a few days, you might hear a bunch of dog stuff from me. But it's not, that doesn't mean that, like, from now on, everything's going to be about the dog. But since I'm just now getting a dog, you could expect me probably not to shut up about it for a few more days. But once I get back to the office, I plan on getting back at it, getting back to work. If I go a week without doing anything, I start feeling like I need to do more. So once I get back, I plan on doubling down on the content. And there's the final experiment, which is supposed to go down next month. And you have Pastor Will Duffy, who's a shill and an actor. He's paying for globe earthers and flat earthers to go to Antarctica to see if there's a 360 sun. And if there is, then it's a globe. And if there isn't, then it's flat. But it's a false dichotomy. What the sun does doesn't dictate what the earth shape is. Whatever the sun does doesn't prove what's happening on the ground. So what's going to happen, and I've already pointed this out, and this is going to happen in like a week, 2 weeks or whatever. Jaron Campanella, Jaronism, is going to go on this trip, and he's going to see a 360 sun in Antarctica. And Witsit Gets It also going to see it. And then the Globers who are going on the trip, Mick Toon and some other loser globe cucks, when they see this 360 sun, they're going to say, see, we told you it was a globe. But that ain't going to affect me because I already done explained how it works. So all them shills who've been lying about the flat earth for so many years, they're the ones who are going to get taken out. They're the ones who are going to be making excuses, looking stupid. Not me. It won't hurt me at all. In fact, I'm looking forward to piling on all these shills. Like when Jaren becomes a glober and says it's not flat, it's a globe, I'm going to say, I told you. Told you he was going to say that. Told you he was a shill 8 years ago. Going on 9 years. All right. Miguel said you missed two super chats. My bad. Let me go back and rustle those up like Russell Crowe. Whatever that means. All right. Missed one from FF with a donation, says John Benet Ramsey, Katy Perry. That's an interesting theory. I put that in the category with is Jimi Hendrix Morgan Freeman. I can't prove it, but I can't not prove it. And so John Benet Ramsey as a little girl does have a bit of a resemblance. Some would say a striking resemblance to Katy Perry. And being's Katy Perry is a big time world stage celeb in the pop industry. And that's an extra satanic industry to be in on the world stage compared to other industries. And that was such a high profile case at the time, all over TV. I would say that it's possible. I just can't prove it to you. There's nothing I can do to be like, for sure it's Katy. So I put that in the category with like, is Jimi Hendrix Morgan Freeman? Like maybe, but I don't know. But maybe. All right. So, oh, look, one of the babies is bringing a toy. Got a little tiny bag of catnip. What is that? You got a little bag of catnip?
You got a little baggie of catnip.
Look at the little baby. Oh, why'd you drop it? This is one of the females. She's the fighter. She likes to wrestle. She always pins the other ones down. I got my I'm a fun guy mushroom shirt on. She's a sweetie too. She's a beautiful girl. Look at that pups. All right, let me shy away from the dogs and we'll talk about this final experiment for just a little bit and just to mix it up so that it's not just 100% dog stream. And I'll show you guys what Will Duffy, I like to call him Shill Duffy, has said recently. He made a video. Oh my God. It's like I can tell that he's reading a script written by some globe cuck like Mick Toon. I really think Mick Toon writes Will Duffy's scripts. But basically, for those of you who haven't kept up on it, Will Duffy is a pastor who showed up out of nowhere 8 months ago, claims to be a Christian pastor, and he is out of his own pocket, allegedly, going to send flat earthers and globe earthers to Antarctica. And if they see a 360 sun, then Earth's a globe. And if they don't, and if it sets, then it's flat. But it's a false dichotomy, like I said. So let me pull up one of his latest videos. I'm not trying to promote the guy, but I am going to call him out, which requires that I play a little bit of his video. But this one is called Here a Shill, There a Shill, Everywhere a Shill.
straw for me. When I first announced TFE many months ago, people on the globe side started telling me that if any flat earthers go to Antarctica, they will be called shills and ostracized from their community.
There can be no 24-hour sun. It's not a possibility on a flat Earth model, and both Jaron and Whitsitt have both said that. So it is absolutely going to destroy their model when they witness the 24-hour sun.
Correct. Simon Dan is correct. It's going to destroy their model. Yeah. It won't destroy my model because I have a model that, predicts the 24-hour sun. So it's not going to hurt me at all. But it is going to destroy shill-ass Jaron and Whitsitt gets it. It's going to destroy their stupid ass for sure. What, you want up here? You want up here, little girl? Yeah. So this guy right here, Simon Dan on screen, a lot of you guys know who he is. He's a total scumbag, science cuck, globe cuck, I like to call him. And I've debunked the living shit out of this guy and proved that he's a no-good liar who reads a script. I caught this guy lying about the space station when there was a glitch with one of the virtual reality objects when one of the astronauts was playing with nothing and then put nothing from one hand into the next. I've shown the video plenty of times. Simon Dan says, oh no, it's just so small of an object. You just can't see what it is. So I caught Simon Dan lying about the ISS space footage. And so this dude, total shillbag. So this pastor, Christian pastor, teams up with this dude. So this dude cross-promotes Will Duffy, and Will Duffy cross-promotes him. See how that works? So this Christian pastor shows up out of nowhere, and he gets promoted by this dude, Simon Dan, who has a ton of subscribers. Looks like I'm going to miss some super chats. And I have to squint to read these because I don't have my monitor, so I'm just using my laptop. Are sports like WWE when they rehearse the moves? Yes. And like in the NFL, for instance, the players have speakers in their ear, so they can actually be instructed what to do. So imagine all the players on the field in the NFL have a speaker, not just the quarterback. And then when, let's say, a guy's about to sack Patrick Mahomes on the defensive line, they can be like, no, don't sack Patrick. Let him run out of the pocket. Patrick needs to complete this pass. So they can give instructions to somebody on the fly if they need to, if anyone's not doing exactly what they're supposed to. So imagine somebody just tells you, okay, on this play, you're going to let Patrick Mahomes run by. So make sure not to tackle him. Dive at his feet and miss. Slip and fall down. Whatever you got to do, but do not tackle Patrick Mahomes. Let him get the first down. Let him get So if they let you know what's going to happen, like Patrick Mahomes is going to do this 11-yard scramble, and I'm not allowed to clean his clock. He gets to get right past the line, and then I'm allowed to maybe push him out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? So if you know your instructions, and that's a really long-winded way of putting it, but basically if they were to give you instructions, for each player even, then they wouldn't have to worry about players memorizing a script, because are players going to be able to memorize a 3-hour script? No, of course not. So on the sidelines, they have tablets where they have the plays that they're going to run next. And so the fans think that they're just going over plays they're going to run. But really, both teams are looking at the same plays, most likely. You see what I'm saying? So if on the sidelines, one side knows what plays are going to be run, and the other sideline knows what plays are going to be run. So the fans just think that both guys are, going over their own playbooks when really they're going over the script. So on the sideline, you can go over the script, because wrestling and pro football are two different things. There's so much money on the pro football games that you have to script every little thing that people can gamble on. You have to have the over under ready figured out. You have to have which players you're going to let score figured out. And so if a bunch of people are all betting on one player, you can make sure that that guy doesn't score. So there's a bunch of variables with football. Whereas with WWE, you can send two really good wrestlers out there with just an ending, and then they can make up the rest of it. So you can send out, let's say, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania, and they'll have the ending planned out, but they can improvise and make shit up for 10, 15 minutes and then do a spot, and then improvise for another 10 minutes and then do a spot, and then, oh, here comes the ending. And that's all planned out. So they don't plan out each and every single punch and each and every single kick and each and every single move. They have leeway to improvise, but they do have spots, is what they call them, planned out, where wrestlers will have a certain moment where one of them grabs a table and sets it up and puts a guy on it, but then he gets off and puts the other guy on it. So if they're going to use like a table, for instance, or somebody's going to go through the announcer's table, that's going to be planned out. They're not just going to like make that up on the spot. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic now. But thank you for the super chat. I just remembered, like, I was talking about the final experiment in Simon Dan. Then I just totally went off on this football shit and wrestling shit. I think I went back and I got the super chats. It said you missed super chats, go Chargers. All right, let me go back and see if I missed any more super chats. And then I'll get back to this final experiment shit. John Bonet. Oh, yeah, I read that one. You should visit, and I'll give you my sister. I'm reading that right? You should visit, and I'll give you my sister. I don't know about that, bro. That's kind of a weird offer. I hope you're kidding. Unless she's hot. If you're trying to offer me your hot sister, and you know that for sure she's totally into me and she's of age, well, I might be interested. But that's probably not the case, because I'm just not that lucky. A subscriber offering me a hot sister? I don't know about that. Jason G says, I like the runt. He is awesome. They're all sweet. Each one of them, you know. I got two of them curled up next to me right now. While some of the other ones are playing, I got these two babies right over here. Here, let me switch screens. I got these two babies laying down in my lap over here. There she is. Look at these babies. And when they're sleeping and you pet them, they go, All right. All right, let me get back on track here. So this final experiment is going to be going on in like a week, I want to say. A week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So it won't be long before this is all over with. And then I can be like, I told you I was right again. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm one of those guys that likes to say I told you so. There's some people that say I hate to say I told you so. I love to say I told you so. I like to be right. I like to predict shit and then be right. So I predicted Trump was coming back. You know, I predicted that there would be a fake ass ass in the nation attempt on Trump. I predicted I didn't predict the Super Bowl correctly. That one I got wrong. So I can blow it when it comes to sports, but when it comes to like these shills in the world stage, I'm a lot better at predicting stuff. All right, let me play this video. Getting so off topic.
in Antarctica. But it's not going to be as cut and dry as that, I don't think. It's all going to go well, and then the event will happen. They'll get back. Jeren and Whitsitt will report their findings, and I think they're going to be ostracised from the flat Earth community. There'll be shouts of shill and paid off.
Now, I was not happy that Globers like Simon Dan were saying this. Every time I heard this from a Glober, I would be frustrated and think to myself, why do you guys have to be so negative about flat earthers? Just give them some credit here. Believe in them. But then I would be told that I don't have a long enough experience with the flat earth community, which is true.
Which is true. Yeah, you can tell that he's reading a script that he did not write himself. I'm 100% sure by the way he puts inflection on certain words that he did not write that. Sounds like something Micktoon wrote, who's a Globe Cuck channel, and one of the guys going to Antarctica, and a guy who has slandered and attacked me. So I'm almost positive MC Toon, I call him Micktoon, wrote whatever script this guy's reading on his teleprompter, because it sounds like Micktoon words coming out of this shill Duffy's mouth.
When I announced TFE for the first time, I had only been involved in this debate for about 2 years. And many of these Globers have been debating flat earthers for many, many years. I just could not imagine that the biggest flat earthers like Flat Earth Dave, Eric Dubé, Jaren Campanella, Austin Whitsitt would ever be called a shill.
Will Duffy, who's a shill, says he can't believe Jaren or Whitsitt or Eric Dubé would be called a shill, even though all three of those guys have pushed provably wrong disinformation and done a bunch of shilly shit. Eric Dubé pushed the circling sun, circling moon, stars all circling around Polaris in the dome of the firmament, and now all of a sudden he's basically taking most all that back and saying, oh, maybe they will see a 360 sun down there. It's like, yeah, Eric, but that debunks the shit out of what you told us for all these years. But it's already been debunked. Oh, yeah, remember when Eric dressed up and imitated me? Remember when he dressed up like a lady? Yeah, speaking of Eric Dubé, how come he doesn't go live? Yeah, he moved back from Thailand back to the United States. How come he doesn't go live and talk to you? It's because he's controlled and he only reads scripts. So Eric Dubé, total shill. That's why I call him a shill. Not only does he promote wrong information, and then he never goes back and fucking corrects himself, he's not man enough to do a stream and talk to his own audience and answer questions. So Eric is a shill. And is Jaren a shill? Well, Jaren wanted to measure my penis in a loser leaves YouTube penis measuring contest. That just makes him a homo. But on top of that, he filed a false restraining order against me. And he has also pushed a bunch of false information about a circling sun over an AE map. And yeah, so the fact that he's picked to go to Antarctica by the shill pastor, and he's already stated that when he sees a 360 sun in Antarctica, then he's going to say it cannot be flat. That means Jaren is a shill, and he's been faking it the whole time, which I told you 8 years ago that this dude is a shill, and he's faking it. So when he finally does say that Earth can't be flat because he saw a 360 sun, all the people who are following him, who are still left standing, and there ain't many, will jump off because he's going to be an official Glober at that point. And I'm going to say, I told you so. So yeah, well, that leaves Witsit Gets It. And Witsit Gets It is a shill because he hangs out with Jaren and Dave Weiss and promotes all the same shit as them. So shills of a feather flock together. Witsit and Jaren are boys. Witsit and Dave Weiss are friends. So Witsit came along after Bob Nodell died. So when Bob Nodell's fat ass died, which I'm glad he's dead. So glad Bob Nodell's dead, that human piece of excrement. Who also was a shill who threatened to call the police on me, and then police did show up to one of my family's address wanting to talk about my YouTube channel. Yeah, that Bob Nodell. Yeah, rest in feces, you piece of shit. So anyway, after Bob Nodell died, that's when Witsit Gets It showed up. And so all that crew is a bunch of shillbags. And the fact that Will Duffy picked them proves they're fucking shills. And the fact that Will Duffy's reading a script saying, I can't believe flat earthers are calling Eric Dubé and Witsit Gets It and Jaren a shill. Why would they do that? It's because they are shills. They've promoted wrong information. They've been actors playing a fucking part while a real dude like me told you years ago that they were fucking liars and that there was going to come a day where they were going to sell you down the road and throw this subject under the bus like they tried to throw me under the bus many, many years ago. And I'm still standing, still telling the truth. And in like a week and a half, I'm going to get to have my grandstand victory dance when Jaren goes, oh, Earth can't be flat because I saw the sun go in a circle. I must say, I told you these guys were fucking liars.
That made no sense to me. It was illogical, irrational, and completely unreasonable, considering these guys have been in the flat earth community for a very long time, approaching a decade for some of them. They've also had to live through intense ridicule and being shadow banned and demonetized and all the difficulties that come from being a flat earther. They've probably even lost family members over this. So I did not see even a possibility that this would happen. And so I just stayed quietly frustrated with the Globers for being negative and not giving the benefit of the doubt to flat earthers. And of course, I was secretly hoping to one day prove them wrong once this was all said and done. Well, sadly, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Over the past months, I've watched flat earthers throw other flat earthers under the bus over TFE. And the threshold required for this treatment seems to be extremely minimal. If a flat earther says that going to Antarctica is a good idea, they're called a shill.
No, that's not true at all. So Will Duffy's being a fucking liar. No, if you go with Will Duffy on his money and accept his offer to go with him and other shills to Antarctica to do this false dichotomy observation, it's not even an experiment, then yes, you're a fucking shill. You're anyone who takes this trip and hangs out with these people, fuck you for life, dude. I will never trust you. I'll never trust a thing you say. And anyone who would take this trip with those dudes is also most likely going to sign some sort of non-disclosure agreement, some sort of contract, and they'll probably end up in some sort of documentary down the line. I don't know, Behind the Curve Part 2. So, yeah, anybody going to Antarctica on that guy's dime with that crew of shills is a fucking shill. Or they're stupid. Most likely they're a stupid shill. So it's not any flat earther who wants to go to Antarctica gets called a shill. Let's get that straight, Will.
If a flat earther says that TFE is a good experiment to progress the debate forward, they are called a shill.
Yeah, it's because it's not. It's not a good experiment to progress the debate forward. It's a false dichotomy where you look at the sun up in the sky and you go, oh, that dictates what shape the ground is. So you're going to look up in the sky to dictate what shape the ground is, to dictate how much the oceans are curving around a spinning ball. You're going to look at the sun. How is the sun going to tell you that the oceans are stuck to a curved ball? It's not going to tell you that. What it will tell you is that one circling sun over an AE map ain't right. But I told you that like over 8 years ago. So that's not shocking to me. I know we all see our own sun. They don't want you to know that. That's why the only guys who talk about that are me and QNFE. We're the only ones who push the truth that everyone sees their own sun, everyone sees their own moon, and everyone sees their own stars. The pups are going off in a tug of war. They're all playing. So, Will Duffy, totally full of shit here.
And here's the craziest one. If a flat earther accepts a free trip to Antarctica, they are called a shill.
It's not free. They have to go with you. They have to go with you and be part of your crew. And that comes at a cost because you're the one paying the money. Why are you paying the money, Will? So this guy, Will, is forking over 30 grand per flat earther, 30 grand per globe earther. I think he's sending like 4 people. I might be wrong on the exact numbers, but I know he's sending like 2 globers and 2 flat earthers. It might be more by now. And then there's other people who are getting their own funding. But it costs $31,000. They may as well just round it up and call it $33,000 because it's that shilly. So think about this, guys. A Christian pastor wants to spend his own money to end the debate of whether it's flat or a globe. And the guy he picks to represent flat earth, the same guy who wanted to measure my penis and who filed a false restraining order against me, Jaranism. And then Witsit Gets It, one of his friends and cronies. Those are the two that are going to represent this subject, the subject where they lied to you about where you live, the subject where you got lied to about your whole reality. They got 2 shills going with another shill to represent a community that they're getting ready to throw under the fucking bus. That's what they're trying to do. Throw this whole cult community under the bus collectively at once. And all the shills who've been pretending to be flat earth cult community leaders, well, they're going to be happy to go along with this. Some of them, like Jaron and Witsit. And then there's going to be some of them who are going to be controlled opposition to Jaron and say, yeah, Jaron's a shill for what he's doing. Now, he was a shill long before this. He was a shill long before Will Duffy came along. So now people calling him out as a shill now? It's like, yeah, no shit. Where were you 8 years ago when I was calling him a shill?
I was wrong. I did not think this would happen. I mean, Nathan Oakley even did a show called Shill Busters. It doesn't get much worse than this. And he even calls Jaron a shill in this show.
Yes, because I've told him. I sent him a message and broke it down for him. Now he's decided to do what the ballers do. Seems like Jaron's a shill.
Oh, wow, Nathan Oakley. After all these years, you say it seems like Jaron's a shill? What are you, 2 chicken shit, Nathan Oakley? You know, I haven't called out Nathan Oakley because he's irrelevant. He's a fucking nobody. And he only gets like 1,000 views and nobody gives a shit about anything he says anymore. He's just some blowhard who has a debate with nobody. Yeah, that guy says Jaron seems like maybe he might be a shill now all of a sudden. Yeah, I knew he was a fucking actor and a fraud 8 years ago. What took you so long, Nathan? Thought you were such a sharp guy. Yeah, all these Johnny come lately shill busters calling Jaren a shill like within the last couple months. Where the fuck were you? It took you this long? Why? Why did it take you so long? Didn't take me that long. I could see right through him. I knew he was full of shit for nearly a decade. But now there's these Johnny come lately rising earthers who want to pretend like they're the ones calling Jaren a shill and making a difference. It's hilarious, guys.
Now, if there was anyone who is definitely not a shill, that would be Jaren, who has been around as long as he has. Not many people.
I didn't come much later. So these guys, they beat me by like a year and a half as far as getting to the subject quicker than me. But I came out in January 2016, and I'm the real deal. A dude who fired up his phone in his living room and still is here doing it. I'm the real guy. And I came in January 2016. So I wasn't far behind the others. So just because someone came first on YouTube doesn't make them legit. If anything, that makes them more likely to be a shill. Oh, you were one of the first ones to get this subject to be big on YouTube? And then what did you do? So he says Jaren is the least likely. Let me play that one more time.
Seems like Jaren's a shill.
Now, if there was anyone who is definitely not a shill, that would be Jaren.
Oh, really? Will Duffy. Will Duffy, if you ever see this video, Jaren Campanella faked a laser test and then deleted his videos. Still lies about it to this day. Jaren Campanella challenged me to a Loser Leaves YouTube penis measuring contest, a literal penis measuring contest. And then when I declined, because, you know, that's weird and gay, he filed a false restraining order against me. Yeah, Will Duffy, you're taking a man who wants to measure penises and who files false restraining orders. Yeah, you're taking that guy with you. Amazing. Why would anyone ever call Jaren a shill? He failed a flat Earth experiment on a hit piece documentary that millions of people watched. It was called Behind the Curve. Behind the Curve on Netflix got like 10 million, 20 million views. I couldn't even tell you, but I know it's a lot of millions of views. And that was a hit piece documentary, and Jaren is in the opening of the documentary failing an experiment and making it look like it's a globe, and he's failing this flat Earth experiment because it's a globe. So Jaren is the perfect candidate to take with you to shoot Behind the Curve too, while he says he's totally not going to be in another documentary. Yeah, we'll see about that. So yeah, the fact that he was in the hit piece documentary, he did all of the international flat Earth conferences, which were shill conferences where they would charge $250 a seat just to say the same shit that they already said on their channel. So Jaren is best pals with Dave Weiss, who pushes the Flat Earth Friend Finder app, which is a tracking app. So Jaren has helped Dave Weiss promote his tracking app, which means Jaren promotes the tracking and the data mining of the users, downloaders of the Flat Earth app, which you should probably not have that app. If you have it, you might want to get rid of that app because Dave has access to your data. Anyway, so yeah, many, many reasons. I could go on. That's just a little bit. I could go on. Many, many reasons why Jaren is a low-life piece of shit liar, scumbag, scammer, and a shill.
Who has been around as long as he has? Not many people. The only people I personally know of who have been publicly talking about flat Earth longer than Jaren are Eric Dubay and Math Powerland. So the last three people that should ever be called shills are those three.
You hear that, guys? The last people who should ever be called a shill are Jaren, Dubay, and Math Powerland. Guys, I started watching Math Powerland and Eric Dubay in 2015. And I liked what they were talking about so much, and I liked their channels so much, I decided to pick up my phone and make a video talking about flat Earth because those two guys inspired me to do that. Now, here's the thing. Matt, within a few months, Math Powerland showed up to my comment section and he said, "You're on my team, buddy." And then Dubé showed up in the comments section and he was like, you're doing excellent work, Jake. And he started like using my memes and shit that I was making at the time. And so I had both those dudes subscribe to my channel within like a couple months of me coming out. And I had in one ear Matt saying, "Dubé's a total shill." Matt told me constantly that Eric Dubé was there to be opposition to him and to make it look like flat earthers all love the man with the mustache. So according to Matt, he's the one who started this. And then Eric came out because he's the shill plant. And he's supposed to make it look like we're all a bunch of nazies who love the man with the mustache. Because Eric put out several videos basically endorsing that the man with the mustache is a great guy. And guess what? That's not exactly true. Anyone playing that role, the head of a large army in any capacity, ain't some great guy. And so I never totally bought into the man with the mustache is a wonderful man story. And I never bought into the, well, I shouldn't say never, but I stopped buying into the 6 million you-know-who's being executed. I don't believe that for a second. So Eric Dubé came along and he took the flat earth subject and he fused it with thinking with basically radical theories that make it look as if flat earth is nothing but a bunch of crazy nazis, right? So Matt would say Eric's a shill, and Eric had a shill list, still does have a shill list, and Eric says Matt Powerland's a shill. So both those two guys called each other a shill long before I ever used the word. So before I ever called anyone a shill or even knew what the word was, I found out what that word was because Eric would say Matt's a shill and Matt would say Eric's a shill. So the two guys that Will Duffy said are the last people that should ever be called a shill, they're the ones who taught me the fucking word, Will. I never called anyone a shill until Matt told me who the shills were. And now I think Matt's a fucking shill too. And Eric Dubé's a shill. So I was motivated to make my first flat earth video, my first video that to start this channel because of two guys who I no longer like anymore, who I have exposed many times as liars, scammers, and shills. And you know what? I'm a man who can admit I got duped. I got tricked into following guys who I thought were real, and I figured out that they weren't. And then I started telling people. And that's the difference between me and the others. I find out someone's not legit, and I really figure it out. I start telling people that guy's not legit. So I was friends with Math Powerland. I met him. He told the story that he painted globes for NASA, that he painted images of the globes for NASA to trick us. And his story was that he quit doing that and started doing comedy. And he's telling us the truth that the world is flat and that he used to paint the globes for NASA. Well, guess what? When I became friends with Matt, he basically admitted to me that he never worked for NASA. So yeah, Matt never did work for NASA. He painted a globe on his own, but he didn't paint them for NASA. So none of the images that NASA has were created by Matt to trick us. So that was some fucking story that he came up with on stage doing his comedy routine. So when I finally met him and found out he wasn't the guy from the comedy routine that I thought he was, he no longer was like a hero character to me. So when you meet your heroes, they tell you not to meet your heroes because you find out who they really are In some cases, you find out who they really aren't. Matt Powerland, if you watch those first comedy routines that he did that were good, that was the guy I thought I was going to meet and hang out with. And instead, it wasn't that guy. It was like a bum, shitty, broke down version. There was maybe 10% that guy, but more like 90% like a complaining fucking bum version of Math Powerland. It's like this broke down car in a little shit art studio, and was just painting random floors every once in a while, and just a really strange life that he was living. And the fact that he ties back to MTV is always strange to me. The fact that he tied back to a few B movies. He was never in a big Hollywood movie, but he was in some like B movies. So he was in some movies to where he actually is an actor with an actual IMDb with actual credits. And I became friends with him. And he would tell me that Eric Dubé's a shill. And then one day when I finally had figured out this guy ain't who I thought he was, and I was sick of his shit. And he called me Jake the Fake one time on his channel. That was when I decided to cut ties with him 100% cold turkey. And I did. So I made a video calling out Matt, and I told my audience that he lied. He never painted a globe for NASA. He's only painted globes for himself. And the comedy routine that he used to do, like, I don't even think he wrote that himself. I think that was something that was given to him, because he never did anything that funny ever afterwards. Whenever I hung around him, he never did anything as cool or as funny as his first couple comedy routines that he blew up with. For those of you who remember those, you know. So I was friends with a shill for a while and found out some of the stuff he was saying was just total bullshit. It was just a facade to pump up this character. And so when I cut ties with him, his channel plummeted because I was a real dude making him look legitimate. So when I cut ties with him and said, that dude's a liar, seems like he could be a fucking actor in a shill too. So I'm no longer going to hang out with that dude. I'm not going to associate with that dude. I'm going to be a lone wolf, and I'm going to do my own thing. When I cut ties with Matt, his channel plummeted, and then he started playing terrible guitar, and then he met Katie, and then knocked Katie up, and then moved to Mexico during COVID, and then disappeared for years. Well, guess what, guys? Matt Powerland's back. He's back. Katie's gone. His son's gone. He's broke. He's desperate. And he's e-begging. I'm going to show you Math Powerland. For those of you who don't know Math Powerland, he's the one who claims to have started the flat earth topic. I'm going to show him to you. It's pretty sad. It's a sad state of affairs, what has become of Math Powerland. And then you guys can tell me what you think he is. We'll get to that right after this. But yeah, Math Powerland is still around. He showed back up recently and started e-begging and crying. Well, pretending to cry. We'll get to that in just a minute.
Math Powerland, Eric Dubé, and Jaron Campanella. And guess what? They are all now being called shills. How is this possible? And not only are the true OG flat earthers being called shills, they are being called shills by other OG flat earthers.
OG flat earther doesn't mean anything. It comes down to, okay, the shills who were here first talking about the subject showed up. And then there were real guys like me who were not connected to any of their shit, and QNFE not connected to any of their shit. The only difference is I got popular and they had to deal with me. QNFE did not get popular, so they just fucking ignored him and shoved him aside. So I got popular, and so they loved bomb me. I was a real dude who showed up and was almost as popular as all their main players that quick. Like within a couple months, I was already like is talked about as much as all their main players. So what they had to do was love bomb me and take me into their cult community. They have Jaren invite me on the Globe Busters, Jaren playing my music videos, Dubé's showing my my memes and complimenting me, and Matt wants to hang out and be buddies and do videos out on the street together, talking about flat Earth, flat smacking people. So they love bomb me all at once, and I accept it, and was totally thinking that they were all my friends and everything was legit. And then 2017, just before summer, I find out that the circling sun path has issues and ain't quite right, and that there's some issues with the AE map in general that aren't quite adding up. So when I bring this to Jaren's attention, he says, yeah, don't mention that. So I told Jaren, hey, the sun going in a circle has some issues with the sunrise and sunset angles down south. And he's like, yeah, don't mention that. We're going to talk about that on Globe Busters. So Jaren told me not to mention the issues with the circling sun 8 years ago when I brought it to his attention. That's when I knew that those guys know what's up and that they've been fucking lying. So that's when I went ahead, called them out as a shill, and called all of them a shill, and showed the proof that the sun rising out of the southeast, set into the southwest in Australia during this time of year, December, can't happen with a circling sun. It's impossible. It's going the opposite way. And so I proved the sunrise and sunset angles don't match that circling sun path. And I did it with observers in Australia and New Zealand, or excuse me, Tasmania at the time. And I got their compass readings to prove it. Eric Dubé ignored the proof, dressed up and imitated me, put me on his shill list, and called me a shill. Jarenism said Jake's going to go be a glober. Jake is going to become a glober. And you guys, overnight, my views plummeted, subscribers plummeted. I lost thousands of subscribers. My views were not the same for years. Years, my views were in the tank because those motherfuckers, Eric Dubé and Jarenism, personally tried to throw this channel under the bus 8 years ago, you guys. So now, here I am, still here. My channel's still around, and now I've got more people watching me than Jaren, more people following me than Jaren does. His subscriber count's a joke. So he's only getting a couple thousand views on his live streams anymore, and 75% of his audience is already dipped out on him. And the other 25% is going to dip out on him when he says it's a globe. That's the guy who said I was going to go be a glober, who tried to throw me under the bus. So all these years later, to get this payback feels really good. To be able to explain this and know that I was the real dude telling the truth the whole time. And all the proof is finally there for anyone to go back and see. Jaren has admitted that I came to him and told him about the sun. He admitted that he told me not to mention that the sun path doesn't match up to a circle sun over an AE map. So he's already admitted all that. He's authenticated the fact that I told you the truth the whole damn time. So this fucking shillbag Will Duffy, who was not around for any of it, yeah, he doesn't know what an OG flat earther is. So that I'm back to my original point about an OG flat earther. Shill Duffy, this dude on the screen here, he showed up 8 months ago. He doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to this subject. He doesn't really know. He's been given the cliff notes and the scripts to read. OG flat earther. I am the OG flat earther. Q and Fee is the OG flat earther. Got a few of them here in the house tonight in my comment section who maybe don't have big channels, but were into this subject back in 2014 and 15.
The only reason this strawman argument even has any legs to stand on are because a couple suspicious, shilly, so-called flat earthers who I have repeatedly called out as disinformation agents, like Jaren from Jarenism, have claimed that they believe a midnight sun in Antarctica somehow does prove the globe.
And then there's Math Powerland. He started talking about flat Earth over a decade ago. Good luck finding anyone talking about flat Earth before him. And even Math Powerland is being called a shill.
Yeah, well, Math Powerland lied about painting globes for NASA, and he ties back to MTV. Yeah, Matt was on an MTV show a long time ago when he lived in Canada. He shot like some MTV show where he played the role of a gay character, and he had to like fucking act all gay in this role. And so like I remember when anyone would want to expose Matt, they would go dig up the old clip of him from MTV, and Matt would always be like, well, that was just acting, it was just acting, and if they want you to act like a gay guy and they're going to pay you $5,000, well, then you just act like a gay guy. But see, Matt also, was with a smoke show, Katie, who was a very attractive woman, and knocked her up. So I know he wasn't a total homo. And so I know he was playing a role. And so one of the things people would use against Matt was that he was tied back to MTV. And so I always have to take that into consideration because MTV, Masonic television, right? So Matt has a sketchy background, and I'm going to show you what Matt's up to today. And Matt is a shell of what he used to be. And so anyone thinking any of these individuals are like free from being called a shill, like go look at their background. Go look at their background. Look what they've done over the last 10 years.
It's been 15 years, okay? I'm clearly explaining this, and no one could imagine it. They're still on a little teacup pancake with a convex sky dome. And they think I'm a shill. Oh, I'm a shill. How is this a shill? This would be the truth. This is me opening the gate to your pen that the rancher has got you going around in corral circles. Okay? I'm opening up the...
Yeah, the only problem with that, Matt, is that you painted that, and there's no proof that there's other ponds with other lands like that. There's no proof that it looks like that. So whenever you paint something or create something like that, and then push it like it's true, you don't really know that. So instead of saying like, hey, maybe this is what it could be, Matt's the type that'll be like, this is what it is. And I have secret insider information. And I know that these extra pawns are out there. See, that's one thing I never liked about Matt was he would always push extra shit. And he still does that. He still pushes extra shit that nobody can prove. And it sounds like an actor making shit up, playing a part.
Gate to freedom of exploration. Okay?
Now, what pushed me over the edge to make this video happened last night. If you missed it, there was a debate last night on the Modern Day Debate YouTube channel. And the debate topic was the final experiment. Crazy, right? There was actually a debate about the final experiment. And it was between Glober FTFE and a flat earther named Matthew Hakim. And Matthew Hakim actually argued that Jaron and Austin are not real flat earthers.
Yeah, because they aren't. So this guy, Will Duffy, who knows that the whole thing is a big shill show, he knows that he's inviting fake flat earthers to go on this trip. He's making this video to gaslight those of us who know that Jaron and Whitsitt are shills, while convincing his globe community that these crazy flat earthers are all calling each other shills. See, so then he can make the entire flat earthers look like they're all just pointing fingers at each other, calling each other shills. And I can't believe that they would do that. Like, yeah, this has been going on for a long time, Duffy, and you're part of it. You just became part of it 8 months ago when you fucking showed up and stuck your ass right in the middle of it. So this dude shows up 8 months ago. Here he is reading a script saying, I can't believe anyone thinks Jaron's a shill. I can't believe anyone thinks Eric Dubé's a shill. I can't believe flat earthers are doing this to each other. Like, dude, where have you been? All right. So let me get rid of this dude. Let me dig up Matt. So for those of you who remember Matt Powerland, He claims he was the father of the flat Earth subject. I don't know if I missed any super chats. I've been fucking ranting, so I might have missed some super chats. Somebody let me know if I did or did not. But anyway, let me pull up Matt. And pretty bad, guys. All right, so Matt likes to play out of tune, god awful guitar. He's owned this guitar for like 6 years, but he never learned how to play a single fucking thing. And he always just plays out of tune, random garbage. And here's the thing, I know not everybody progresses at the same rate. I know not everybody has the same skill. If you own a guitar for 6 years and you're going to play it on camera for an audience, you better know how to at least play the beginning to some simple song. You better at least know the like Smoke on the Water or like the beginning to a couple of Nirvana songs or something. If you fucking start playing an out of tune, like absolute god awful guitar, what do you think your audience is going to do? They're going to take off. But here, this is what it sounds like. Well, thought I had it up on screen. My bad. Forgot to share it. I was totally looking at it on my screen, but not sharing it. There you go. So here's Matt, you guys. Up to date, Matt Powerland. Where has he been? Here he is. Shit. Then the video's lagging, of course. One second. Let me try and knock down the. So yeah, Matt never learned how to play. It's
Maybe
pretty
it's
bad.
the sleeves are getting in the
And then he blames his sleeves for not being able to play.
way.
Okay, so he does that for an hour to start his stream. He starts his stream and plays like that for an hour. Look, you guys, I'm going to fast forward 25 minutes and he's still there doing it. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Imagine this going on for an entire hour. For whatever reason now, my computer's starting to fucking lag. Which sucks. Okay.
If you like it, you want to make a disco song,
All right, let me try and get this straightened out because
pay
I
the
want to
piper.
tell you when he starts
Copyright Matt
talking.
Powerland.
When he finally starts talking, he starts to like pretend to cry, and then he starts asking for money. God damn, I don't know why my internet just all of a sudden spazzed out, not wanting to play.
The woman lost. The woman lost with the boy. The boy is going to lose. Your mom is going to lose. Your dead father's like, what the fuck did you do? Everybody around you watching people go to the Antarctic and looking at a sunspot or like an artificial sun or whatever it is. Everything in the world right now, like chemtrails even on top of it, is all from a rant that I did. And then yet you put money and you go, hey, look at Bill Burr and look at that, like, you know, fat chick from New York who's saying all the shit that I would have my account suspended if I talked about gay people that way. She gets away with it because she's a girl. Every comic goes, yeah, she's really funny. She's funny. You know what I mean? And there's people out there that are funny, like, you know, like what's his, like over 20 years now. Like, give me a job. Scared. I said to somebody today, I said, I did this. It was lock solid. I stayed in character. And it was all to do a movie where there's 6 teams coming in from different parts of the continent of Antarctica.
All right, this wasn't the right one. There's one where I think it's the most latest one, but I think I might have pulled up one, maybe the wrong stream. There's one where he starts fake crying. The latest, I think it's the latest one, actually. My bad. I think I pulled up the wrong one. Oh, he cried in 2 streams. My bad. I pulled up the wrong one. But this, I'll show you the most recent one. He did this one like 2 days ago. And this is the one where he cries and then starts asking for money. But he plays terrible guitar at the beginning of this one, too. All right, here we go.
A professional teacher at a high school level, at a university level, private school, prep school. I've been blocked as a coding scientist and a specialist and applicator. I'm trying to say I'm crazy because I want to talk, I want to sing, I want to make music, I want to build, I want to make a better world. And this person is trying to use police and governments and tyrants to stop me from being a fucking man. From my son. And then they'll take this and the fact that they've like broken me and then try to say he's unstable. So this is called gaslighting. It is the premier torture technique of the CIA. So they are into crushing intelligence. Bona fide, genuine, organic.
Oh, fuck. Why'd I do that? I was hoping I wouldn't screw it up. There we go.
Living man in flesh expression and creation. That's what it looks to me like it's happening.
Jesus.
And they'll hold a little boy hostage and say, you never.
Oh, for Christ's sake. So as you guys can see, Katie's gone. The boy's gone. And Math is talking like he won't explain why Katie's gone. He won't explain where the boy's at. But he's saying things like, these people, if I don't get men in suits, if I can't hire lawyers, then I can't be a man. They're not allowing me to make money. He's saying these weird things, but he won't explain exactly what's going on.
To see him again. Some fucking free society this is. Some free society this is. I don't want to go on the beach and drink a margarita. It's not my idea of having a good time. Getting drunk and high. That's not my idea of a good time. Going on a cruise and vomiting or watching other people vomit their buffet. It's not my idea of a good time. I want to retire or get old.
Okay.
And body soon. You're eating garbage. Canada has a shit ton of wood. What are we going to fly the lumber over the US? It's coming out of everybody's faces suddenly. Time release worms. You know, like you leave garbage in the, and you don't have it that I designed to turn into a fucking club.
So here's the deal. He started crying. He did this like crying routine at the beginning, but then he stops and he talks about all this random shit for like 20 minutes that doesn't relate to anything. Can't make any sense of it. But then he goes back into this crying routine. And then I'm going to try and find the part. Hopefully I can find it. I didn't write down the timestamp, but hopefully I can find the spot. Guys, he's about to e-beg and bring up that he needs 20 grand. Hopefully I can find it. But Matt, while he's crying, is about to e-beg and ask for 20 grand, but he won't explain exactly why he needs it. He'll just say that he needs to hire lawyers, but he won't say why. He won't tell us like what's the deal with Katie and your kid. Where are you? What's happening? He won't say, but he does e-beg and ask for 20 grand.
He's like, oh, now it's not a bar zone. It's just like, it's fine, but we could have still lived there. Go around just building businesses for people. Like I'm like a business builder slave. Told a fucking Mexican that I made a partner in this clay company. And he's like, yeah, I need some money. And he's like, bro, you've got like 3 fucking families and 20 hectares of land. You actually can just put up a lemonade stand on the side of the road and sell lemonade to mining trucks that are passing by and make yourself 1,000, 2,000 pesos a fucking day. Just fucking making lemonade. Can't even fucking sell lemonade in Canada or the US. And you're like bugging me for fucking money? I'm not even from the country. I'm not allowed to work here. I can make investment capital. I can receive money to build a company. You have to sell the fucking clay. You have to package it.
Okay, so I get what he's saying. Matt tried to sell clay, sell dirt, basically. And he's in Mexico, but you're not allowed to go to Mexico as a Canadian or an American and just start your own business there like that. So he tried to get some Mexican to sell his clay, and the Mexican dude wanted some money, and Matt didn't want to give him any money.
He said the best instrument for business is a phone. So yeah, until you can't fucking work. So it's like stocks, and it's like, well, okay, and maybe I got to get into stocks and stuff like that, you know. Spend my day looking at fucking stocks until I can afford the AI. But right now, I need help. I need some help. And like everybody in this fucking community has abandoned me for a bunch of weirdos that don't say anything. You know, when the sun is like at a different, I've been looking at the sun for about 10 years now since Matt Powerland woke me up, making money off his back.
Yeah, I'm not making money off your back, dipshit. See, so I feel like some of this is like aimed at guys like me. Like, I ain't making money off your back. You didn't create flat Earth. If you're the first person to talk about something or one of the first person to do something, it's like music. Like if somebody does something musically, other artists are going to start emulating that and mixing it into their shit. And that's just how music evolved. So every type of music that ever evolved, somebody else had to kind of do something before that to get that person motivated to create that music, right? So my slap bass style goes back to me fucking listening to the Flea and Claypool and Marcus Miller and them slap bass guys in order for me to get my slap bass sound. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna. So when was the last time you heard, a guy who slaps bass, like Larry Graham be like, "Oh, I'm the first person to slap a bass, and then all these other motherfuckers came along and slapped a bass. They stole it from me. Nobody allowed to slap a bass but me." So yeah, Larry Graham is considered like the first black dude to make slapping a bass popular. He doesn't go around saying that everyone stole it from him and no one's allowed to do it but him. But Matt does. Matt pretends like since he made a comedy routine and talked about the earth possibly being flat, that everybody owes him something, right? Meanwhile, my content that I've made about the subject is light years evolved. It's past anything he ever talked about. So when I talk about the sunrise and sunset angles, Matt don't know shit about that. To this day, doesn't know nothing about it. So I've surpassed Matt when it comes to my knowledge of the earth. And guys like Q and Fee are in another dimension. Matt wouldn't even be able to have a conversation with Q and Fee without getting ripped to shreds and debunked. So Matt likes to talk like he invented all this shit and like he still owns it. It's crazy. Got a super chat come in from Lux Phil. So I appreciate that. No message attached, but just a message. And she says, "Love the puppies," or "Love your puppies." Yeah, they're all laying down. They all go through moments where they're all wrestling and rambunctious, and then they go through moments where they're all quiet and every one of them is asleep. So yeah, I hope I can locate this section where he asks for 20 grand. Maybe I can look it up on a transcript or something. But at some point in this stream, while he's like pretending to cry, he asks for 20 grand, or he says he needs like 20 grand. Let's see. Joe Zazzini says hello from Canada. Jake and friends, I've been following your channel for a few years now, and by far my favorite live stream was the one when you pulled out the photo album. That was live stream, man. Appreciate you, bro. I remember what you're talking about. That was when I wanted to prove to people that I have a real past, and I'm a genuine dude, and that none of the shills are going to whip out their old family photo book and show you where they come from and who they are. So yeah, I had an epiphany one night that like, I'm just going to show everybody how real I am. And I'm going to show them all my pictures and give them my whole life timeline to where nobody can fucking dare call me a shill. Otherwise, I'm going to whip out the photo album and be like, "You going to call this little boy a shill? You're going to call," I pull out one of my baby pictures. "You're going to call this baby boy a shill?" I remember. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Surprised that's your favorite stream.
To this day, I have a channel. Jim Brewer talking about the flat earth, and Tucker Carlson with Alex Stein, and Candace Owen, and Roseanne Barr. Gee, nobody's talking to the comedian. These are all comedians. Nobody's talking to the comedian. And now it's like, I want my son. I just want to be with my son. I don't want anything else. I just want to fucking raise him somewhere in the fucking woods or something.
I just want to paint and raise him somewhere in the fucking woods or something.
Really need your help. Really need your help.
Here, I think it's coming now. I really need your help. I really need your help.
You can, like, send me something.
Like send me something.
I'm fucking begging now.
He's fucking begging now.
I'm fucking begging because I can't fucking work.
And he's begging because he can't work. Well, bro, Matt, you moved to Mexico. Why did you move to Mexico? Oh, that's right, because 2020 happened. Yeah, but then your wife split with your kid back to the US. So why didn't you go back to the US? Why are you in Mexico? Why is this anyone else's problem? You stuck yourself there, bro.
Wait for fucking fucking economy when you like don't let somebody who fucking injected $2 billion with his mouth into your fucking country. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Every time round earth and flat earth is mentioned, there's money being exchanged. I got none of it. And now I got fucking lose my fucking son.
Dude, why should you get money on something other people talk about, Matt? If I talk about flat earth in one of my streams with Q and Fee, why the fuck should you get anything? We've put in our own time and our own work and have our own take on the subject that is light years ahead of your old stupid shit that you used to say, Matt. So why would you deserve any money I make doing my job? See what I mean? This guy acts like he deserves like a fucking payment anytime anyone says flat earth. Sigurt says, if you don't have 20 grand, you can fuck off. Oh, good one. So she just mixed what Matt said with what Goatus said. And Goatus is, of course, a whole different e-beggar. So those of you who follow Goatus would probably get that joke. Those of you who don't won't get it. But yeah, Goatus is also an e-beggar. And he was e-begging one time. And he said, if you want to sign up for my Patreon for 15 euros a month, then I will tell you what happened with me and this girl. But if you don't want to pay $15, then you can fuck off. Goatus told anyone who doesn't want to pay $15 that they can just fuck off. So I clipped that. I like to replay that from time to time. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, sweetheart. I called you sweetheart. Hopefully you're not a guy. It looked like a chick in the picture. But no, wait, is that a dude? Oh, fuck. I think that's a dude. I called him sweetheart. I'm staring at my laptop and like I have a bright light in my eyes and like all the words are really small. And normally when I'm in my office, I have a big ass monitor and all the words are big. So I'm having to like squint and like look at the screen like while squinting, and the bright light and this computer screen are like making my eyes fucked up. So I totally thought that dude was a blonde chick. And now that I'm looking closer, it totally looks like a dude and not a blonde chick. All right, let me try and find this part where Matt asks for 20 grand. If I can't find it, I'll find it on another day and I'll clip it. But basically, he asks for 20 grand somewhere in this stream. I might have passed it already, but at some point he does.
You're a real crybaby. You better watch out. You better watch out. Because you never know if the man that rises with the Third Army will just have tears always coming down his face in battle. Just because I have tears doesn't mean I won't be able to do battle. Just because I'm scared doesn't mean I won't be able to do battle. Just because I can cry doesn't mean I'm weak. You better figure this out. Just because you hit me, just because I cried because you hit me, doesn't mean I'm not going to hit back. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have someone hit back for me. It doesn't mean I'm not going to rise up. I can rise up and I can be in control and I can have tears flowing down my face. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen any of the people you worship cry?
Wow. Okay. That's about all I can handle of that. This is just depressing. So, anyone wondering what happened to Matt? That's what happened to Matt. He's in Mexico. He doesn't have any money and he's begging. So, yeah, at some point in that stream, like I said, I don't want to spend an hour listening to that, trying to find it. But at some point in that stream, he says, I'm going to need like 20 grand. I need to hire like 10 lawyers. Otherwise, I might not be able to see my son. Something like that. So he's basically pulling like a I need money to see my son GOATus e-begging scam. All right. So yeah, anybody who used to watch flat earth content back in 2014, 15, 16, you might be looking at Matt like, holy shit, like that's where he ended up. Yeah. So Matt had like, I don't know, 5 people watching that stream, and pretty pathetic. All right. Well, you guys want to see the sleeping puppies? I'll take you on a sleeping puppy tour. And we'll show you all the sleeping puppies. Use my phone flashlight. Look at the puppies. Look at those babies. Oh. Look at the babies. They're all asleep. Oh. Watch, when I pet them when they're sleeping, they go, oh. Look at these babies. Oh. He's a cute baby. Look at a baby. Look at a baby. Look at a baby. Look at this baby. So cute. All right, let me grab all of them again. For those of you who missed the pups, I showed all the pups at the beginning and the parents, and then I went on a flat Earth rant. But I'll show you all the pups again. Oh, this one. Oh, this one is twin. Yeah, that's right. Here's another girl. She's a sweetie. The baby, huh? Oh, did I wake you up when you was trying to sleep? Yeah. Oh, look at that baby. super chat coming in from Goblin Grundle. It says, spank your local like button. Loads, lads and lassies. Good idea. I know there's not that many people here tonight because I, titled the stream with puppies and dogs, and I changed the category to pets and animals. And that's not something I usually do, so I didn't figure that I was going to get a shitload of people here tonight. But those who are here, you get to see the cute puppies, and you got a little extra flat Earth history, and on top of that, unexpectedly. But yeah, if you're having fun, go ahead, hit the thumbs up. I'll bring up all the pups for one last appearance. And here's another one of the females. This is the one that wrestles the most. She's making noise. You a good girl. Look at that baby. Look at the baby. And there's the one that cries the most. Cry baby, huh? But she's a sweet girl. Yeah. Beagle babies, huh? Cute beagle babies. Here's one of the boys. He's calling this one Frankie. He's beautiful. See, it's Frankie. You a Frankie pup? Hmm? All right. And then this one is a boy. And he was the runt, but he caught up. He's a sweet boy. He's more chill than some of the other ones. He's a cute baby. He's more dark colored too. He doesn't have any white on him like the other ones does. He's got more brown, more like I don't know, it doesn't look as much like a beagle as the other ones. But cute. Here is the biggest one. He's being called Ralphie. Bruce gave him temporary names. So he was calling this one Ralphie. He's a sweet boy. He's came over and got in my lap a few different times. And he's one of the more mellow ones. He's more of a mellow pippy. And he's like the type that you can put in your lap and he'll chill. His ears are beautiful. They all have big floppy ears. Did I miss one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Said, "Hey, bro, cool dog." Which one? So yeah, kind of a hard decision when you have 7 cute pups. Yeah, got all of them right here. Look at these cute babies. Oh, cute baby. Get 2 of them at once. Beagle puppies. Beagle puppies. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple days, just dogs. So all day yesterday, I just hung out here. Played with the dogs, played with the puppies. Just did dog stuff all day. Caught up with Bruce and their owner. And then today, yeah, I went out in the back, got tons of footage of them. And so I have a bunch of stock footage of beagles now. So I'm going to upload that over the next few days. And then I got to drive back to California. It's a long drive. And then I got to get back to work, making content again. Aren't they all adorable? Yeah, there isn't an ugly one in the bunch. Now, I will say some of the girls are a little cuter than some of the boys, but I like the temperament of some of the boys a little better. So it's kind of like tough to choose just based on cuteness or like which one is the most playful. So it's tough, you know? So a part of me is used to having a boy dog. So I feel like my last 2 dogs were boys, that maybe I should just get another boy since that's what I'm used to. But the girls' dogs are cute. They're really pretty. So, I'm not opposed to getting a girl one either. Sunflower says, I thought the female puppies had really beautiful faces. They are a little cuter than the males, I noticed. So based on cuteness, I was looking at 2 of the females, but they were also the most loud. They were the ones that barked the loudest. They were the ones that, like, cried a lot. So I don't know. I have to take it all into consideration. So I still haven't totally made up my mind, but one of the boys is really cute. I think it was the last one I showed you. I like him. So there's a few front runners, but I figure I'll make my mind up tomorrow. And Rose says, foot smell is important too. It's good to know. Important. Oh, so important. Right, Rose? Foot smell. Yeah, I woke them up, but that's all they do all day. They're puppies. So literally they like wake up, they want to eat and then piss and shit and then play, and wrestle, and then they sleep. And then they wake up and repeat that again. And they just keep doing that over and over again. And they'll finally be out for the night. You know, we stayed up kind of late last night talking and playing with the pups. So they'll sleep for a while at night, but they're usually up by like 7 a.m. ready to get up and go outside and eat their food and stuff. And then once they get done eating, it's not long before they start wrestling, and then they tire out, and then they all sleep at once. And then sometimes one of them will wake up and come over, and the other ones will gradually wake up and come over. So he's got a pen set up for them, but then sometimes he lets them all out, and they're just all running around. There's puppies everywhere. Yeah, it's probably looking like. I mean, this one, he's come over to me the most out of all of them. Is this one right here? And Bruce named him Ralphie, and these are temporary names, so I could call him whatever I want if I picked him. But Ralphie isn't a bad name for a dog. But of course, it makes me think of Christmas Story. Ralphie! Ralphie! Come on, puppies. Come on, babies. Looks like I can get 4 of them up here at once. Looks like they all coming over now that one of them came over. All right. There we go. I got a whole pile of puppies here. Pile in the puppies. Pile on the puppies. Got me a pile of pup dogs. Good pile of pup dogs. Yeah. Yeah, they call it puppy love. And it feels good. It feels good to be around pups. Huh. Yeah. It took me a while to figure out which ones are which, but now I've pretty much got it down. This one right here. Come here. Come here, boy. Come here. This one's Ralphie, and he's the biggest, and he's one of the front runners for me because he's chill. He doesn't bark and make as much noise as the other ones, and he comes over and he gets in my lap and he gives me kisses, and he just seems like he might be the one. But it's a tough call. It's a tough call. They're all so cute. Mainly, yeah. See, he comes over. This is like, I don't know, 5th or 6th time he's like come over and got in my lap. Whereas some of them like haven't shown as much interest, so you got to kind of take that into consideration, like which one chooses you, not which one you choose, but which one is choosing you. Uh-oh. Somebody barked or somebody knocked. All right, well, looks like there's some company that showed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys, and get off here. I need to eat. I'm a little tired too. So I'm gonna get off here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll let you know which one I picked tomorrow, most likely, and more videos to come. And then I got to drive back to California. So hopefully I can get the football videos up in like a week or so. So anybody waiting on the football shit, you're going to have to wait another week. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for all the super chats. Hopefully I didn't miss any. Somebody said, where are the parents? I showed both the parents at the beginning of the stream. So Pickle and Barney, both parents are here in the house, and I showed both of them in the stream. So go back and watch the beginning of the stream, and you'll see all 10 dogs. And there's one Australian Shepherd who's not a Beagle. So yeah, if you want to see all the dogs, go back and rewatch the replay. So thank you guys for watching, and like I said, I'll be back in the office in I don't know, maybe 3-4 days, and I'll try and do more streams and more content, and I'll have a pup with me. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Thank you to everyone who donated. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Peace out.